Namaste. Hello, my name is Srinivas Reddy. I am a guest professor at IIT Gandhinagar. I also was a permanent faculty for 6 years, during which time we developed the humanities and social sciences and the masters in society and culture. I'm speaking to you all now from Providence, where I live, and I teach now also at Brown University, where I actually did my undergraduate. Then I did my PhD at Berkeley in the Department of South and Southeast Asian Studies. I work mostly on South Indian literature, classical Indian music, and in medieval Indian history. I am going to speak today about one of my favorite books, in the sense that it's a book that I go back to time and time again and continue to learn from it, which I think is a mark of any good thing. In fact, who was it? Jagannatha, I think. I'm just forgetting the name. Anyway, the great Pandit, Sanskrit Pandit, used to say that beauty is something that is constantly new to you every time you go to it. That's the definition of beauty. It's always new. So this book is called The Jaina Path of Purification. It's written by my guru, Padmanabh S. Jaini, a great scholar of Abhidharma Buddhism and, of course, Jainism, and a practicing Jain himself. And, essentially it, I would say, is the standard textbook that gives a total summation of the Jaina faith or religion. And as the title suggests, the core of the Jaina tradition is purification of the soul, so that it can, have release from this samsaric existence. So, as a source book on Jainism, it is probably the number one source to go to, and Professor Jaini is really the world's expert on this subject. Literally, he wrote the book. So, I was his student. I'm still a student for the last 17 years, so it's been a great honor to learn from him. I'll just read out the chapters so you get a sense of what is covered in the book, so you have an idea. It goes, all the way from doctrinal things, historical things, to also the modern context. So first chapter is Mahavira and the Foundations of Jainism. Part 2, the first disciples and the Jaina scriptures. Part 3, the nature of reality. Part 4, the mechanism of bondage, that's karmic bondage. Chapter 5, Samyak Darshana, the first awakening. Chapter 6, Vrata and Pratima, path of the layman. 7, Jaina rituals and ceremonies. 8, the mendicant path and the attainment of the goal. And 9, Jaina society through the ages, growth and survival. There's quite a number of extensive appendices, glossaries, maps, photos also included. So really a classic and very important to read time and time again. I'll just introduce a couple of other books by way of Professor Jaini's work. This is his most recent publication. It's called Yoga, which means, or he's translated coincidences or unexpected kind of connections. The Memoirs of Padmanabh S. Jaini. I edited this book for him. It also has a number of very nice photos from the old days of old masters that he spent time with. That's actually Professor Jaini's guru. Gurudev Muni Shri Samantrabhadraji, a true Jaina Muni. The last 30 years of his life, he only had one meal a day taken in the Anjali, and that's it. Completely naked also. So these are, he was born into a tradition and learned in a, Gurukula traditional. So he combines that traditional knowledge with, of course, the scholarly knowledge. And one other book, which is very heavy. This is the very new, just published this year, Brill's Encyclopedia of Jainism. Here you can see there's the 24 Tirthankaras. This was edited by John Court, Paul Dundas, Knut Jacobson, and Christy Wiley. Christy actually is my friend, also a student of Professor Jaini's. And as Professor Jaini himself has said, this is the single greatest collection of Jaina scholarly material ever compiled. So if you have, these three books, you have pretty much all you need for the study of Jainism. It'll keep you occupied for quite some time. So just to say two things important about Jainism that I find inspiring and relevant. Number one, there's no other religion in the world that has been more penetrating and forward-thinking, almost in a sense, of defining the importance of life at all different stages of development, including plants, including insects, including what we call ekendriyas, just one-sense organisms like bacteria. So the Jaina philosophy is the most environmental philosophy ever propounded, I would say. And number two, this position of anekantavada, so not one view. We will never believe that one view has the total view of a situation. Therefore, we must approach everything from a multi-view perspective. And this is a very important thing I think we can learn in this world. And then maybe if I added, of course, a third, is of course ahimsa, and what ahimsa really comes from. Ahimsa comes from the idea of nonviolence, comes from the idea of, again, I think I've quoted this before, the parasparo upagraho jivanam. That's the main saying. You have to practice nonviolence because we're all connected. All souls are connected and intermingling. So the idea of you, me, this, that, it doesn't work like that. It's all mixed together. It's all one holistic idea of life. That's what Jainism propounds, and how to purify that, at least in this human life, which we have the potential for. So again, The Jaina Path of Purification by Padmanabh Jaini, his memoirs, The Coincidences, Yoga, and then Brill's Encyclopedia of Jainism. Three great works. Thank you very much. God bless. Namaste.